Hi, I'm Jay McNamara. I'm the founder of a company called RetroFuzz. We're an e-com consultancy. We look after all things related to the e-commerce ecosystem for our clients. We've been working with a brand called Gloverall now since 2024 in that capacity. And we started working with Leaf Signal as a result of that work. So I think the thing that Leaf Signal brings to the party for a brand like Gloverall is, they essentially had nothing in terms of tracking. They had all the standard kind of integrations, between Shopify and Meta and Google and all the rest of it. But even those were implemented poorly, and there was a lot of double counting of data, and a lot of the data was, incredibly unreliable. We were in a position previously where our ads were kind of, flailing around almost, where they weren't really targeted at anything in particular, and it was just kind of, let's spend money and see what happens. Whereas with this, it puts us in a much more informed position about where to place our bets with ad spend, and ultimately we feel like we're in a much stronger position in terms of who and what we're targeting and when and how much we should invest in doing so as a result of Leaf Signal. Since implementing Signal, we've seen a few different positives. A couple that come to mind are obviously the integrity of our data in our ad accounts has improved dramatically. So, we're able to be much more precise in terms of what impact the spend that we do on ads is having on our, campaigns overall, but also in terms of the bottom line. And it's also obviously ensured that we're targeting the right customers. So we're getting the right people through the door on the store and selling them the right garments ultimately. And then, in terms of the bottom line, we installed Signal, week 0, let's say, and then, week 1, week 2, week 3, we saw kind of essentially like doubled revenue week on week in response to installing it. I wouldn't ever suggest that everyone's going to see that result because every client is different, but from us, I absolutely attribute a huge amount of that change to better targeting and better ads.